Howdy peeps and peoples, hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Okay, I've been getting some people, excuse me, been getting some people asking me about Blackey. Those of you that don't know, I've drove this truck for years. Blackey is my baby. I've drove this thing for years. It's a very special truck to me. December in 2021, Blackey laid down on me. I had to save it off the side of the road and stuff, and brought it in, and Dan said, he said, Tater, Blackey's earned it, let's redo Blackey. So, I can't take a lot of credit for any of this. This is Dan's project. I've been doing, he said, if you do the other stuff and keep that off my back, I'll get your truck going for you. So Dan's been working on Blackey and I've been working on other stuff. And I'm kind of glad he's doing it because it's going to turn out pretty nice if I keep my hands out of it. But let's check the truck out and see what y'all think and check Dan's progress. Boy, it's stressful, but it's also a little bit of relief to know you're
getting closer to the end.
Yeah. Now Dan said there's 3 layers. There's 3 layers of primer going on, right?
Yeah. This is what's called the etching primer.
Etching primer, okay.
And then we're going to do a filler primer.
Okay.
2 coats of that.
Okay.
And then we're going to block it. Hopefully paint.
Gotcha. And Dan's blocked off all the holes and stuff in it. This cab's gonna be a slick cab now. He's riveted a bunch of rivets, cleaned up a bunch of stuff. He had me do some welding for him. We welded some aluminum places, and then he re-fiberglassed some spots that got rubbed through with the hood over the years. And we're gonna hang a big drop visor. We got a big fancy drop visor and some other chrome goodies that he's putting on it. And then he had Roger clean the front up because he wants to paint all it too. Even in the engine housing and stuff. You could see already, you know, how clean it is. You know.
The more effort you put in, the more it shows off when you're done.
And when it's all done, yeah. You put the shiny on it at the end, that's when everything, especially on black, ain't it?
Yeah, that's when your imperfections show up. This little dull stuff here, it ain't going to
show it up as much, yeah. But I mean, he's cleaned up all kinds. You wouldn't believe it. Had holes. Of course, this thing's lived a long life already. So it had a pile of holes in the body from different knickknacks and paddywhacks, and now it's gonna be like a new lot on life. God, this is gonna be one bad looking unit. You know, we had them holes in the back and we had to weld big 4-inch holes. Is it still on the front?
Yeah, get over here where the door's open.
Okay.
You can see the patches.
It pulled. Now, I'm no good aluminum welding, but I'm all he had at the time. I mean, we heated, of course, I'm trying to learn how to, and then he ended up, but it was where the lights was, and it ended up pulling them plates. He's beat them plates back. I had them plates all folded over from heat.
Nice and straight, it looks back here now.
You can't even tell it. You can't even tell it.
Well, you might see where it's a little wetter right there. It gives you a false impression of a wave, but
He's blocked it. Where's your block thing? I'll show him that.
it's right over there. That's one of them I use. Right here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one, and then here's a real long one too. And that works like a grater. That's like your motor grater there, because it's got that long footprint, and he just
How long you been rubbing on that thing? Weeks? A month? All right, I'll shut it off and get my butt back to work. All right, Big Dan's super proud of this. Turned out beautiful. It's got a couple dry spots in it, but nothing major. I mean, it's beautiful. Dan said I painted this thing 100 times in my sleep. It turned out beautiful. Look at the top of that. It is just gorgeous. Deep, deep shine. Oh, beautiful, Dan. What a man. That smudgy there, we all been rubbing on that spot. But I mean, he's renewed. We've renewed. Well, he has. I did some welding for him, but he's basically renewed everything to where this is a solid, propped up, beefed up cab again, and no hose. Completely, only hose in this cab is what's absolutely positively necessary. Everything else is just beef, solid joints, extra rivets. He added rivets in places that strengthen things. We've added aluminum in places. I mean, there's no corners cut as far as durability goes. And I told him that's the most important thing to me is durability. Overlooks, actually. So, it's durable and beautiful. So, I'm proud as I can be. Good job, Dan. What a man. What a guy. That is unbelievable. And I ordered like $1,900 worth of chrome for stainless for it. I mean, it's gonna shine like a diamond. I'm telling you. To go from Blackey being Blackey to shining like a diamond. Whatever. Well, here we are, peoples. It is stripped down. Everything's cleaned off of it. And it's ready to go. Big Dan had me put a bar in there for support. But it's ready to go. Next thing we done was cut this hood out that we're going to use on it for the dual air breathers, and then now we're going to send it off to Bob. All right, well, Bob's coming. Snatched the hood up. He's been a sweetheart. He said he'd give it his touch. He's real slick at the fiberglass work, and so he's taking it to his ranch here. He's got a spot here he's wanting to do. They'd passed it before and it kind of dinkered up there. He wants to get in here and tackle on this, he said. And then I suck at fiberglass. And I told him, by golly, if he wants to do it, man. It's awful nice having people around that do stuff like that. Robin's stealing my truck.
Hope we don't take that to Gert.
Head to the scrap yard.
You're supposed to give good money for that over.
Yeah, it's going.
Just throw the truck in the boot.
Oh. What'd you say it's gonna be back in black now?
Back in black.
God, that is cool. So that's the block that's out of Blackey.
Yep.
After they got done.
Yep. Got a new crank in it.
Yep.
Brand new.
And that was a different brand that Dan had a little time making peace with it, but he finally talked to enough people, you made peace with it?
Yep.
And now the top, it got machined.
Yep.
Oh man, that feels smooth.
I got a new spacer plate to go in between the head.
And that just adds to what they milled off, right?
No. See the liner set up on top of the block right here, stand up.
Okay.
So Cat made a plate to go in between there so the head would fit level right across all of it then. When the
Gotcha.
liners are in there, they're going to stand up a 1/4 inch probably above this deck right here.
Okay.
Right there's a brand new head to go on it.
Nice. And here's all your pistons and liners, pistons.
In here now they reboard that and sleeved it down in there to hold the bottom of the liner.
This is a sleeve.
Huh?
This is a sleeve in there.
Yep. They put a sleeve in there because it was so rough there it wouldn't hold the O-rings anymore. So
Wow.
it had to do that.
What's that? Acidity that causes that, or?
Yeah, electrolysis.
Okay.
Now you can see some electrolysis pits right here. See them holes there?
Yeah.
That's from not keeping that DCA level correct in your antifreeze. That causes that. It happens on each side of your piston skirts. Look at the liner.
That's from not changing your antifreeze often enough?
Well, not keeping the level right. See what it'll do? It'll eat a hole through the liner eventually.
Holy cow, them some pretty deep pits.
Yeah, it'll eat all the way through. See how rough the seals was down there at the bottom?
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was really rough. Now this will happen on, see here? Look here how it eat up. So your block will eat up like that down there too. Look at it, that's about eat through. Now that happens right where this skirt runs, right up and down through here. And they tell me what happens here is
Heat transfer?
no, the skirt causes a high-pitched vibration in the liner, and it makes the antifreeze want to fizz on the outside, and when them little fizz bubbles bust, it's like a dynamite charge going off, and it'll peck a hole in it.
Man, it's deep now. Look at that.
Yeah. You see how it eat the block up down here? Well, they had to sleeve your block down there at the bottom to make up for it.
Wow. That's a hell of a
It'll fall
freaking.
through now. Watch
Okay.
it. Ain't got no rings on it. But that's why you got to keep that DCA additive in them all the time.
DCA.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never put that in since you've left.
Yeah. I used to test it. We had to push it and stick down in there and see
Yeah.
if the colors come out right. And this is probably left over from when I worked here the
Yeah.
first time. You got to keep that in the antifreeze, or that keeps that from happening.
That's in everything, ain't it?
Every diesel, even your lawnmower, if it's got a diesel engine.
And this will stop that from happening.
Yep.
I'll be damned. Well, this will keep that from. That's.
Cummins is actually worse at it than Cat. See,
Probably
Cummins puts a water filter. Cat, this Cat motor did have a water filter on it. Usually Cat motors don't have. And that Cummins filter, if you buy a Cummins filter, it's got that additive in that water filter, so you don't have
So
to
it
worry
keeps.
about
So it
that.
keeps. Okay, I got you. Huh.
Hell, it even blocked that down there.
Well, yeah, I never seen that before. I didn't know that was a thing.
That was one of the $5 labor costs to get this job done. You know,
That was one of the big labor costs of this.
yeah, they had
Because
to
of the
bore
sleeving.
that and sleeve it and then bore it.
And turn the light on. Sure
Republic.
And Dan, I had the thing off, but Dan kind of wanted everybody to know Republic Diesel in Louisville done all this good work. And they've been working for you for years. They've done work for you for years.
Yeah.
I remember taking stuff down.
Well,
Years ago.
Skidder engines, they
Yep.
did the plain block.
Look at that, eh?
That's, they just didn't want to go any
Yep,
deeper.
any deeper.
That's where your water seals set.
Okay.
You know, in the spacer plate. Here's the old spacer plate that I'm not going to use, but see where the water seals is in there yet?
Yeah. And that dated back to 07? Or no, it had 100 and something thousand miles on the rebuild when you put it in there.
I don't remember. I don't remember what mileage was on that. But Sternberg's had in-framed that right before we bought it. They put piston aligners in the head because it had cracked the head and got hot. And the ECM showed that up one time when I had the ECM reprogrammed after we got the motor and put it in Blackey. I had it all erased and start over. And here we are again. But we ain't got an ECM now.
Yeah. That's something. Oh gosh. So Dan said this old crankshaft would make a good mailbox post.
It'd take a hell of a vehicle.
Yeah.
See where it welded up. Right there. Come.
Now, was he special or just an update? Just a normal update, Dan says. And what was you shaking this one? See, the outside is aluminum, but now
the center piece here is steel.
And you seen, I'll show a picture.
And right here, see it come down, it all pins together here.
So what happened, I'll show a picture. Tater put a picture up on there so you can see what happened. And then that probably ain't gonna happen again. Now, the only other problem we had going on was that pH in the waters that all you give credit to. So if we get your test strips and do the DC3, is that what it's called, or DC4? If we get that done right, then it'll last the duration. And as far as the crank, 100% of that damage is probably when we brought it in. That's what you're thinking?
I think so.
So 100%, so the crank would be fine if we hadn't made that mistake. And then we'd cut her, and so it'd go even longer the next time maybe.
It's all one piece.
Okay, I'm not full of bullshit right now, but here's Dan's baby. What a beautiful piece. Dan, you had trouble with the front gear, you say?
Yeah.
He had an issue?
For some reason it was, the key was cut the wrong place. We had to change it, swap it out.
And he had to heat it and pull it off, and then a new one come and cooked it and slid it on. And if you hadn't caught that, we'd have put it together. Well, you said you'd have tore some stuff up if we'd have done that.
Been every valve in it.
Damn.
I mean, there's like 4 teeth off. It just wasn't.
A little bit.
This thing was off.
You remember that time we had before where they got the teeth off now?
And they thought it wasn't. The timing was off. Caterpillar didn't have the timing right. Yeah.
Now, after what, like a month of struggling with it, you figured it out, fixed it, and then Caterpillar said, no, you didn't. You remember that?
I had to take it back. And they said they dynoed, if the power's there, they'd do something about it. And the power was there. We didn't want to make 100 horsepower before. They made like 410.
Okay.
That was when it was a peak engine yet.
Had to see, yeah.
Pump, electronic pump.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't changed these valves yet. I got new ones coming. These here are pretty junky.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a beautiful. That thing is so pretty.
That's all brand new. That ain't no recon junk.
Huh. Oh yeah, new milling, yeah.
And then the whistle.
Roger said it looked awful good pink. He's tempted to paint something pink on that thing. He's just burn him up. Well, as wild as everything's been here today and recently taken in the past, I don't know, 5 years. Just when you think everything's down in the pooper dumps, something always ends up going real good. So, just a minute ago, Bob showed up. Said, hey, Bubba, I got you something. Let's check this out. All right, I've already been setting them up, Bob. Okay, so Bob's done with his baby here. And he's had a few spots that he's really declared war on. And these areas here, how many times you go into these areas right here? I showed them before you picked it up.
About 3 times.
But here's his finished product. And you remember, and I'll go back to the old pictures from before. And then back here he's added layers based off his experience. He's added layers back here for rock chips and stuff. So this is real thick in the back here where the tires are gonna sling stuff up and hit. And he's done both sides. But it looks, I'm very happy. Chris said he'd redone some stuff a few times, so he just couldn't make himself happy. Just cause you get more hard-headed as you get older, don't you? Ain't got no quitting sense. That's what it is.
You always have those inspectors that come along.
Well, you're gonna have a lot of inspectors on here. We'll make sure that they don't get too close. Oh gosh. All right, let's shut up and get this unloaded.